We know. We are aware. We know. And when we engage in our meditations where we're, for instance, we will do this 3-breath meditation if you would like to join in this meditation in 3 breaths. We drop into our heart and we send that love out into the universe. So our awareness is going out into the universe, right? Into the universe as far as our imagination will allow. Wherever we place our attention, there is awareness. When we talk about the meditation of awareness, it is not placing the mind on a specific object. It's sometimes called objectless meditation or non-meditation. It's a matter of simply being aware of awareness. So it's almost as if you're turning inside out. But if you go all the way out and you come all the way back in, it's like there isn't anywhere in and there isn't anywhere out. It's just pervasive. Awareness pervades everything. And it just takes time and practice to kind of taste that, to figure out what exactly is that? What does that mean? So one way to kind of get an idea is to sit quietly and allow your awareness to go to the left. Just send your awareness out to the left. And then bring it right back. And then send it out to the right. And bring it back. And out in front, as far as you can go. And bringing it back. Then sending it behind you. And bringing it back. Sending it up above. And bringing it back. And then sending it down into the earth. And then coming back to your heart center. And awareness doesn't abide there at the heart center. Awareness abides wherever we place our attention. We can also think about sending that awareness in the ordinal directions. So actually, if we think about it, we can send our awareness in all 10 directions at the same time, simultaneously going in all 10 directions. And then bringing it back and letting it just rest here without a specific place, just resting, just awareing, resting here in present moment awareness. Does that make sense to you? Does it feel like you have some idea of what that means? It's not anything special, It's not particularly special, some special meditation that we're doing that's some kind of woo-woo. It's here in every single moment, this awareness available to us to just rest in present moment awareness. And then if we're really looking at awareness, it's almost as if turning the lens around. It becomes then a bit of a question. Where is awareness? It's a rhetorical question. So it's not something that you analyze and say, okay, well, it's here and it's there and it's over here. It's just, where is awareness? Who's aware? In this way, when we come to that aspect of the meditation, if we feel lost and unable to remain in that spacious openness, it's okay to bring the mind back to the anchor of the breath. It's a perfect object. When we talk about objects of meditation, it's simply an object that we might place the mind upon unwaveringly, without moving as much as possible. And it's useful to pick either a neutral object or a virtuous object. So here, the breath is always with us. We can always use it as an anchor. Always available. And when we are meditating on the breath, we are actually attending to the sensation of the breath, which is at one point. We begin attending to the sensation of the breath in the whole body. So it goes in a bit of a progression, okay? A bit of a progression. So we come into present. This present moment, we come into this present moment attending to our posture. So here I am. And we keep our posture. I think it was John Kabat-Zinn who used the idea of a posture of dignity, because when I say to you, sit in a posture of dignity, don't you kind of sit upright, dignified? So we attend to the posture. That is in order to allow the winds to flow through the body unencumbered. So we establish our posture in relaxed stillness. Really important to be relaxed as well. So if we are establishing a posture of dignity and straightening and lengthening the spine to its natural extension, at the same time, we want to relax all the muscles hanging around it like an axis, like a center pole, and the body hangs around that in a state of relaxation. The more relaxed we are, the more the body, the mind can be settled. When we're tense, the mind tends to be tense, and then there's more discursive thought. So relaxation is important. But as we begin, when we're attending to the breath in the body, it's the whole body. It's how the body is breathing, how the belly rises and falls, and the chest, a little bit lifts, maybe the shoulders a little bit. It's really looking, what happens when this body breathes? And after we're settled a bit, then we take that breath and bring our attention just to the sensation of the breath at the tip of the nose, just inside the nostrils, wherever it manifests most distinctly for you. A sensation of different temperatures as you inhale and as you exhale. How it changes. How it changes. It's useful, perhaps, to count 10 cycles. Inhaling and exhaling. Alan Wallace suggests that the mind tends to want to escape at the end of an exhale because it thinks it's done. How sometimes we go, So his suggestion, and I don't think it's his alone, is that a full cycle is to exhale and inhale, and then counting at the top of the inhale. So it's exhaling, inhaling, and it's one. And it's not one, 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 one. Just the sensation of the breath and not letting the number be our focus, just the sensation of the breath. And it's interesting to watch at the end of the exhale. There's a still point at the end of the exhale. Just as it starts to turn, it turns on its own. And it's a bit magical, isn't it? That this body just breathes and we're just watching it. Attention is just attending to the breath, not manipulating in any way, not having a preference for long or short, just allowing the body to breathe. Then after some time, if the mind feels stable, then we can begin to shift awareness away from the sensation of the breath at the tip of the nose and allow it to turn to the awareness of the space around. Awareness, just spacious awareness in which the breath arises and falls. So just the awareness of awareness. And this is something that just takes time to determine as you go through these stages. And you'll get very good at it in time, and perhaps you already are. And it will shift. Every time you do a meditation, it will be different. Just when you think you've got it, then it will shift. Depending on what's happening in your world, your mind might be more active, in which case it's useful to stay on the breath because it's an easy to find object. The point is to be able to see how it is that there is stillness and harmony. There's movement and stillness in harmony. There's movement as the breath moves. And there are moments of stillness within that. So it's attending to that in a harmonic way. Without wanting something different than what is. Just being present with what is. And we begin to notice how thoughts come, and if we don't engage, they go. Thoughts need energy to survive. So if our awareness is right there on our breath, when the thought comes, and we don't follow it and engage it, it goes back from whence it came, out of emptiness into emptiness. Okay? Do you have a question about that? You think you feel, okay, good. So I think I would like to, if you're amenable, I would like to share my screen and have us do our prayers to accumulate virtue and really marinate the mind in this gratitude for having teachers in our life that bring us to a state of peace. Show us how to drop into that state of peace. So if I'm successful, I will do that. Now I wonder, I hope you can see this. So let's try this 3 intentional breaths, if you like, to become more and more familiar with it, because it's something that is so useful in our daily life, to be able to simply drop into a state of peace and grow love in your heart and send it out to the world. So it's just 3 breaths as we take our posture of dignity on the inhale and relax into stillness and establish vigilance on the inhale, dropping down, connecting to the earth on the exhale. Then awakening the love at our heart, knowing that we are loved, and sending that love to every living being without exception. Perhaps we take a few breaths, allowing that love to be energized and allowing it to fill our body. As we inhale, it becomes brighter, more blissful, so sweet. And as we exhale, it fills us up, and we know we are loved. We imagine it being uncontainable and feeling it passing through all of our pores, this blissful, loving light, creating an aura of love around us. As we make a prayerful wish, may I and all beings be happy. And we make a promise, I will help us to be happy. We ask all the Buddhas of the 3 times, bless me to be able to do so. And with this heartfelt wish, we turn to the Buddhas and we take refuge. I go for refuge until enlightenment to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. By my virtuous actions of giving and so on, may I become a Buddha to benefit all beings. I go for refuge until enlightenment to the mind of enlightenment, to seeing emptiness directly, and to the Arya beings who have. May I become a Buddha to benefit all beings. I go for refuge until enlightenment, with confidence in the knowledge that the nature of my own mind is wisdom. Its expression is clarity, and its compassion is all-pervasive. May I become a Buddha to benefit all beings. May all beings abide in equanimity, free of attachment and aversion. May all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings find good rebirths and the bliss of liberation. I will help us to have these. Please, Guru Buddha, bless me to be able to do this. Then we imagine that Guru Shakyamuni Buddha appears before us, our Lama in the aspect of Shakyamuni Buddha. And we make this prayer. O magnificent and precious root Guru, please abide On the lotus and moon seat above my head, guide me with your great kindness and grant me realizations of your holy body, speech, and mind. So now we imagine that Shakyamuni Buddha comes above the crown of our head. And from his holy body, a stream of light and nectar begins to flow down, granting us the realizations of the blessings that we request. May I be inspired by Guru devotion, uplifted by the preciousness of this human life, shed the fetters of attachment and aversion through a knowledge of impermanence, be protected by refuge, guided by a knowledge of actions and their results, aim for liberation through renunciation. May I be motivated by bodhicitta, opened by giving, disciplined by ethical behavior, strengthened by patience, enthused by joyous effort, stabilized by concentration, and freed by wisdom. So allow that sensation of this blissful light nectar flowing down from your Lama's holy body, entering into your crown, and filling your whole body. And we make a prayer. Oh, magnificent and precious root Guru, please abide on the lotus and moon seat at my heart. Guide me with your great kindness and stay with me always until I attain enlightenment. So now, Guru Shakyamuni Buddha, your Lama in the aspect of Buddha, loving you unconditionally, melts into a small sphere of light and begins to descend down through your crown, down through the center of your heart. This light the size of a robin's egg, right down to the center, coming to your heart center. And merging inseparably with your own mind. And you are blessed. And allow your awareness to drop into that light. And simply feel the warmth. And begin to take notice of the breath in your body. As you settle right down to the ground, connecting to Mother Earth. Your belly soft, receiving the full breath. Allow a sense of contentment to come in relaxed stillness. Right there at the ground. Thoughts will come. It's what they do. But we're attending to the sensation of the breath in the body as the belly rises and falls. Perhaps it is useful to count to 10 breaths, full cycles, breathing out and breathing back in again as one. If the mind is feeling relatively stable, let us fine-tune our awareness by bringing it to a single point at the tip of the nose. The sensation right there. Like a sentry at the gate, we attend to the breath as it flows out and back in again. Be aware when you have been captured by a thought or a feeling, an emotion or an image. And then kindly, gently return the mind to the object of meditation, the sensation of the breath. And notice the difference between grasping and a mind with no grasping. As we simply watch, attending to the breath. What is the sensation in the body and mind when we are presently centered on the breath? Just the breath. That's all. Absolutely nothing to do or undo. If the mind is relatively quiet and stable, you might begin to release the attention on the breath and begin to attend to the space around the breath. Attending to awareness. As the great master Tilopa said, imagine you're studying the entire sphere of the sky. You will come to stop delineating the middle from the ends. And it is the same when studying the mind, using the mind. Images and feelings stop. and you come to rest in a place beyond thought, seeing your mind's true nature. And we notice whatever is arising. It's ephemeral. It's like a cloud passing in the sky of our mind. It has no real importance at all. The king of all meditation lies beyond any movement of the mind. The king of all activity stays here, doing nothing. Ask yourself, what could ever rest on any fraction of the mind? What could ever rest on any fraction of the sky? Release yourself into this pristine fundamental state. Your bonds will all be broken, and without a doubt, you will be free. So we come back into our body and into this room. Mm. So perhaps we might break into some small groups for about 5 minutes. You might have an opportunity to share what is your experience doing these meditation like this. And then if you like, you can come into the chat when we come back and share what came up for you. So I'm hoping that Kai might be able to, or Marissa might be able to put us into rooms.